Today we are going to start the last chapter you have with me this semester, which is the CNS stimulant. CNS stimulant are the direct opposite of what we had studied before. Since I started with you, we were talking about CNS depressants, hypnotics, antipsychotics. Today, we are going to talk about something opposite, which is the CNS stimulants. What do we need from a CNS stimulant is to treat depression state, maintain wakefulness and alertness. زي دلوقتي ما اشخط فيك شخطه فضغطك يرتفع فتبقى مصحصح معايا لغايه اخر محاضره. كان اي ممكن ولا انتم مصحصحين؟ الحمد لله. Recovery of consciousness and normal reflexes. Restoration of respiration and blood pressure. You remember when we talked about anesthetics, when we talked about depression, CNS depressants, our main target was to keep the blood pressure low as possible and the respiration slow as possible. Is that right? Now we need the opposite. We need to make a restoration of this respiration. Classification of the CNS stimulants, we have three main categories. Analytics will be classified into respiratory stimulants, narcotic antagonists, you are acquainted with this, psychomotor stimulants, which is sympathomimetic stimulants, mood-altering drugs, and antidepressants. Nootropics, we will talk about it later. Let's start with analytics. What are analytics? Analytics are used to restore the depressive function. Are used to restore the depressed functions, okay? Of the medullary center and treat any respiratory or circulatory collapse, such as coma. So we have two main categories of those drugs, respiratory stimulants and narcotic antagonists. Concerning nicotinamide, Monoamine or cortisol are respiratory stimulant. This is one of the folklore medicine. It is not in use anymore, but we have to know anything about it. It's N-diethyl nicotinamide, could be prepared by bringing nicotinic acid and what's this? Does this sound familiar? Looks familiar to you? Did you ever take organic chemistry before? مين اللي جاب ايه في الاورجانيك كيمستري؟ طبعا كلكم جايبين ايز. اكيد. مش كده؟ ده بيسموه ثيونايل كلورايد. It's a chlorinating agent to chlorinate the carboxylic group into an acid chloride. Once we have the acid chloride, we can add the diethylamine to eliminate hydrochloric acid and get nicotinamide, the drug which we need. Xanthines. Xanthines are among the respiratory stimulants. What did you drink now? انت كنت تشرب ايه؟ شاي. حلو. Xanthines are caffeine, theophylline, and theobromine. Where we could find it? Tea. Coffee. خليكم معايا اتكلموا معايا انا. شوكليت. شايف؟ البنات دايما لازم حاطين في الشنطه معاهم شوكليت. عرفت ليه؟ عشان الكافيين اللي في الشوكليت عشان يفضلوا مصحصحين. ايه كمان؟ بيبسي اند 7 اب. مش كده؟ في اعتقاد خاطئ ان ال7 اب ما فيهاش كافيين. لا ال7 اب فيها كافيين. اوكي. طيب المود اوف اكشن ايه؟ What causes stimulation and what causes depression? To cause stimulation, you should have an elevated concentration of what's called cyclic adenosine monophosphate. Cyclic adenosine, يا جماعة. Cyclic adenosine monophosphate. When this concentration increase in your brain, this makes stimulation. How it could be formed in your brain? By an enzyme called adenylate cyclase. It will take adenosine monophosphate and cyclize it. What kind of reaction is this cyclization? اللي قاعدين يتكلموا مع بعض يتكلموا معايا هنا أحسن ساينس. What is this؟ ها ده إيه؟ الجزء ده إيه؟ Phosphoric acid. Phosphoric acid. And what is this? Alcohol. So ester could be obtained with the elimination of water to get this cyclized adenosine monophosphate. Got it? Okay. Phosphodiesterases are responsible about this hydrolysis. So if I need to increase the brain stimulation or CNS stimulation, which enzyme should work more? ها؟ ايوه كده سمعوني صوتكم. ها؟ بسمع صوتكم وانتوا بتتكلموا مع بعض، لكن ساعة الأسئلة ما بسمعش صوت حد. ها؟ ايه الانزيم من الاثنين دول اللي هيدعم وجود او زيادة التركيزات بتاعة السايكليك ام بي؟ ها؟ بص كده قول لي. الادينيليت سايكليز ده اللي بيحول الادينوزين مونوفوسفات الى cyclic MB. So if I have enough adenylate cyclase, it will produce more cyclic MB. In other words, if I inhibit phosphodiesterases ما خلوش يحصل له هيدروليسيس ابدا باني هوقف الانزيم ده، يبقى كده الكميه الاكبر هتبقى من السايكليك ام بي، كله هيتحول الى سايكليك ام بي، the other route is gonna be plugged, which is the hydrolysis of cyclic MB. صح؟ That's what xanthine do. الكافيين اللي سعادتك بتشربه بيعمل ايه؟ بيعمل inhibition للphosphodiesterases. يبقى I have only one way for this reaction, the formation of cyclic MB all the time. The formation of cyclic MB all the time, and this will lead to increase of the concentration of cyclic MB. And what cyclic MB could do? It will increase the brain glucose level. This is the reason for the stimulation, is the increasement of the brain glucose level. تمام. And then consequently will stimulate the respiration as well. Narcotic antagonist. I think Dr. Dalia شبعتكم narcotics. مش كده؟ You heard about cannabis and opium, heroin and what else? Codeine? Huh? You have all of this. طيب. If I need to antagonize this effect, what do I have? I have nalorphine, N-allyl morphine. This allyl group and its position on the nitrogen here will oppose the effect of morphine. How? How nalorphine will antagonize morphine? How? أنا جاوبتك. في الستيتمنت في السؤال اللي أنا بقوله لك أنا جاوبتك. بس أنت ما خدتيش ما لقطتيش الإجابة. Nalorphine will kick out morphine from its receptor and occupy the receptor. But this will be an exact thickness or a non-exact thickness. It will be non-exact thickness. That's why it will antagonize morphine at its own receptor. You got it? Okay. في ساعات اتنين لما بيقعدوا جنب بعض بيبقى القعده دي مضره. نازلين انت واللي جنبك واللي وراك. Okay. Sympathomimetic central stimulants. It's mainly what's called phenethylamines. What are the phenethylamines? كينونتهم ايه؟ بيشتغلوا ايه في الجسم؟ بيشتغلوا ايه في البرين؟ جاوب يا باشا. الفينيثيلامين بيصنفوا از ايه؟ مجموعة امبارح اشطر منكم. الفينيثيلامينز بيصنفوا از ايه ان برين؟ التصنيف this is a function. Classification as neurotransmitters. كلهم neurotransmitters صح؟ and they are causing mimicking the sympathetic nervous system and used to treat CNS depression and decrease obesity. This is a side effect. So somehow they structurally modify it to be appetite enhancer. ناكل الشوكولاته اللي في الشنطه معاك كلها ولا appetite suppression. Okay. Amphetamine is on the lead. Amphetamine is a very simple structure of the phenethylamine. It is one phenyl, two amino, propane as sulfate salt. Can anybody tells me why this bond is written like this or drawn like this? ايه No. الستار دي تعني انه كاير. But this bond has a name and has a notation, has a meaning. What does this bond denote? هل اللي بيرسم ايده اتلخبطت فقام عاملها بالطريقه دي ولا this is a language؟ It could be, but why he didn't do so? Huh? This means this is a mixture, a racemic mixture of both isomers, and they did not separate it. When we come to synthesis, we will start with benzyl, methyl, ketone, and treat it with DA. Hydroxylamine. حلو. And what is this? This will be an oxime. This oxime will be reduced using hydrogen over palladium. Why? Huh? Which? Why they used hydrogen over palladium for reduction? Is this the only reducing agent? We can use more than a setup. We can use zinc HCl. We can use even something in alkaline media. No. It will reduce the oxime into amino. But why they did reduced palladium over carbon? What does this represent? ليه البليديوم اوفر كربون؟ قول يا جهبذ. ما هي انواع الريدكشن ميديا؟ انا قلت اسيد وقلت الكالي. اجاوب انا والامر الى الله. This is reduction in a neutral media. Why should I use neutral media? لان لو استخدمت اسيدك ميديا هتقوم عامله لي سولتنج على طول وعامله لي and take it out of the soluble solution. It will precipitate the compound and stop the reaction. So I need neutral. There is another reason. What's the other reason? Hydrogen in acid or alkaline media could make an inversion of the configuration of the chiral center. So, to be safe, you have to use neutral reducing media or reducing neutral reaction condition. To get plus minus amphetamine, it is still a racemic mixture, which could be resolved by the use of tartaric acid to give the D-amphetamine. D-amphetamine is 10 to 20 times more active than L-amphetamine. Why? خدتوا دراج زين ولا لسه؟ لسه هتاخد دراج زين؟ بعد كده هتاخد دراج زين؟ والله جميل. خدتوا دراج ريسبتور انتراكشن؟ ولا هي مع دراج زين؟ مع دراج زين. كنت عايز اسال سؤال بس واضح ان انتوا ما درستوش فمش هتعرفوا تجاوبوا. ليه الدي more active than L؟ It's the same structure. صح؟ ايه الفرق بين الدي والال؟ الاورينتيشن بتاعت الميثايل جروب ده. No. No. Okay. The orientation in the receptor favor the D rather than the L. That's why the D is 20 times more active than the L. خلاص خلصت. Okay. Methylphenidate is another expression of the phenethylamine in cyclic form, what we had mentioned before. Freeze it in a ring in the form of the ring to increase the activity. Phenidate is a classified drug. تعرفين يعني ايه classified drug؟ ها؟ يعني it should not be prescribed لكل من هب ودب يعني. ها؟ Okay. الفينمترازين has the same configuration but in another arrangement. This N has been hooked to this oxygen here in the form of morpholine ring. So it is 2-phenyl, 3-methyl morpholine, الفينمترازين. Mainly الفينمترازين becomes appetite suppression. Appetite suppressor has more appetite suppression activity rather than amphetamine itself. The other class of drug which it's not preferably used nowadays is the lithium compound as a mood altering drug. Why? It's very known, it's in the market, it's called Priadil. In the last 30 years, it was the main drug to be used in the psychology, in the psychiatry clinics. It is not only toxic, it is cumulative. Any atom of lithium comes inside the body, it will never come out. It will be piled up in the liver till it causes liver toxicity and death. That's why but sometimes we need it. Maybe for a short period of time. But this accumulation happened due to the long-term medication. So it is indicated not to be used for long-term. Antidepressants. This is the official track for CNS stimulation. They are classified into monoamine oxidase inhibitor and tricyclic organic antidepressants. The monoamine oxidase inhibitors are classified into hydrazide and non-hydrazide type of drugs. When we come to the monoamine oxidase, hydrazide containing drugs. First of all is phenylazine sulfate, phenethylhydrazine, rather than phenethylamine. It's still having the same configuration. 2-phenethylhydrazine sulfate. Or Nialamide. Nialamide still have the ethyl hydrazine configuration, and if we name it, we have to name it related to the hydrazine itself. See, hydrazide. One of the ends will be N, named N, and the other will be N dash. So let's go. N if we name this ethyl by 1 and 2, this will be 2 benzyl carbamoyl ethyl. The other N carrying what? Isonicotinyl hydrazine. Got it? I can repeat if you want. Anybody want me to repeat? Alles klar? Alles klar. Okay. L-isocarboxazide, it's also a hydrazine type of reagent. It's N-benzyl, N-dash, 5-methyl, 3-isoxazole carbonyl hydrazine. This includes the 3 main drugs as hydrazides. What about the non-hydrazide? The non-hydrazide is one drug very famous in the market. It's called ternylcypromine. I'm listing the drugs, but I didn't talk about the mode of action. The mode of action will come later, okay? Ternylcypromine is phenylcyclopropylamine sulfate, but they denoted by plus, minus, and E. Does that mean we have 2 types of isomerism in this structure? Look at it. How many types of isomerism do we have in this structure? هو قال بلس وماينس ادي نوع، دي اللي بيسموها ايه؟ اي نوع من انواع الايزوميريزم اوبتيكال. الاي از انذر تايب اوف ايه؟ ايزوميريزم اللي هو بيمثل ايه؟ ها؟ جيومتريكال ايزوميريزم. في ناس شاطره والله يا اخي. لا جانب البنات اشطر من جانب الصبيان النازين دي. في ايه؟ اوكي، can you point it out for us please? Anybody? Any help? ها؟ عايز حد يبين لنا الايزوميريزم ده ايه؟ فهمتوا حاجة؟ أنا برضو ما فهمتش. كم قوم يا عم، بدل ما أنت قاعد نازل راغي، قول. هاخد جنب بس عشان زمايلك يشوفوا. ها. حلو، فين السيمتري بقى؟ هو مش سيمتري، أنا بفهم بس إن هو قصاد بعض عشان أقدر. أنت قصدك تقول in a cyclopropane ring has a substituent above the ring and the other substituent downward the ring. That's which make it trans. حلو، الاي وفهمناه. طب لو كانوا الاثنين في نفس الناحيه كنا سميناهم ايه؟ ها؟ زي. طب حلو، انا عايز اشوف بقى الاوبتيكال ايزوميريزم اللي موجود في المركب ده. ايوه. حد عنده better explanation؟ ها؟ اكيد انت، ما دام انت قاعد ترسمه له، تعالى بقى قوله. كابتن. ايوه اتفضل. اتفضل سعادتك. لا والله لازم نسجل سعادتك وانت بتحاضر في هذه المحاضره. قوم. زيه. الاكسبلانيشن بتاع الاوبتيكال ايزوميريزم اللي انت قلته مش مقنعني، ما اعرفش. اقتنعته؟ حد مقتنع؟ طب حد عنده بيتر اكسبلانيشن؟ انت شكلك كده عندك اكسبلانيشن. اشمعنى احمد يعني؟ طب هو قال انت عايز تقول دي يعني الكارال سنتر هنا؟ طب ما ممكن يكون في الكربون الثاني، وده اكثر يعني وقوعا. يا هي الاثنين سي اتش، استنى بس سيبه. حتى لو افترضت كده ان الاثنين سي اتش 2، لكن هم ايدنتيكال، هم مش سي اتش 2، دي واحده سي اتش والثانيه سي اتش 2 بس. are they identical؟ طيب اتفضل يا دكتور احمد استريح and see me how I'm gonna explain it. The chiral center which is more visible is this one. Imagine the three-membered ring. The definition of a chiral center is carrying 4 different groups. الهيدروجين different من الفينايل، صح؟ المعضلة هنا إن ده شايل كربون وده شايل كربون، يبقى الاثنين كربون، ما هماش different. أقول له لا والله different. الكربون دي CH2 ولكن الكربون دي شايلة NH2، يبقوا different ولا لا؟ ها؟ يبقى 4 different group، يبقى الكربون دي more feasible to be the chiral center، صح ولا لا؟ خش على اللي بعد كده. المود اوف اكشن، ازاي الدراجز دي كلها هتعمل سي ان اس ستيميوليشن. المونوامين اوكسيديز هيعمل ايه بالظبط؟ ايه الرول بتاعه؟ هو له دخل بكل النيورو ترانسميترز اللي ممكن تتخيلها، الدوبامين والابنفرين والتيرامين والسيروتونين، كل دي نيورو ترانسميترز. كل دي كل ما يعلى الكونسنتريشن بتاعها في البرين معناها ان في سي ان اس ستيميوليشن. How we can increase its concentration in the brain? How? Let's take a look at the serotonin. السيروتونين الميتابوليزم بتاعه المونوامين اوكسيديز بيجي يعمل ايه؟ يعمل اوكسيديتيف دي امينيشن ويديني الكربوكسيليك، يدي حاجه اسمها ال5 هيدروكسي اندول 3 اسيتيك اسيد. Our drugs، الدراجز اللي احنا اتكلمنا عليها دي كلها will inhibit ماو. لما يحصل انهبيشن للماو انهي كونسنتريشن هتزيد؟ الاسيتيك اسيد، الاندول اسيتيك اسيد ولا السيروتونين؟ سيروتونين، وانا عايز اعلي الكونسنتريشن بتاعه، صح كده؟ طيب الدوبامين and the tyramine are the biological precursors of norepinephrine. Norepinephrine could be methylated to be epinephrine. All of these at the stage of epinephrine, the monoamine oxidase will come and cause oxidative deamination of this position to give dihydroxymandylic acid. If our drugs, which mentioned before, inhibit this MAO, which compounds, the concentration of it will be increasing in the brain. Which one? أنا هعمل inhibition للخطوة دي، معناها إن ده هيزيد ولا هيقل؟ ولما ده يزيد هيقول إيه لده؟ بالفيدباك انيبيشن هيقول له انت كفايه او انت وقف. and so on for this and so on for that. So all of them will be increasing in concentration. The concentration will be elevated in the brain. Is that right or not? Pollucible? عارفين يعني ايه pollucible؟ يعني ايه pollucible يا فصيح؟ pollucible. Pollucible explanation. يعني ايه؟ yeah. convincing، مقنع. Tricyclic antidepressants are major drug in the psychiatric clinic. It's tryptizol and tofranil, very famous, very usable. Look at it. Amitriptyline hydrochloride. It is tricyclic ring called dibenz cycloheptadiene. دبل بوندز اللي هنا. dibenz cycloheptadiene. ولازم احدد الاماكن اللي موجود فيها التو دبل بوندز اللي بتعمل دايين، اللي هي 2 3 and 6 7. واحد ضليع هيقول لي هي فين الدبل بوند اللي هنا يا دكتور؟ اقول له الريزونانس دي بتتحرك. Amitriptyline hydrochloride, it is the bioisoster of amitriptyline. What's meant by a bioisoster is, as you see, this carbon has been replaced by a nitrogen. This does not alter the biological activity, but it kept the biological activity with a change in the magnitude activity. It becomes more active. Chemically, it's dibenzazepine. Dibenzazepine. What is the junction of attachment? It's dibenz BF-azepine. The nitrogen at position 5 has 3-dimethylamminopropyl 10-11 dihydro, because supposed to be a double bond here. The tricyclic antidepressants potentiate the action of the biogenic amine, potentiate the action of the neurotransmitter we have just mentioned, dopamine, epinephrine, tyramine, and serotonin. This is the last study, the last slide in this chapter. What I want to tell you about this, that this is a mysterious drug. Means this compound has a magic ability to restore any CNS abnormality with a known mechanism. Up till now, it has been known for 30 years. Nobody managed to discover a solid, concrete mechanism of the action of notrobil. Chemically, it's 2-oxo, 1-pyrrolidinoacetamide. What is the action of notrobil? In all cases of CNS damage, hemiplegia, whatever the cause is, it has a magic response in restoring the CNS back to its normal functions. That's why they gave it as a basic treatment for any kind of CNS impairment. What is the reason? What is the mechanism of action? Nobody knows it. It is known worldwide. I myself was involved. It's patented drug. The chemistry of it is patented. It's very simple, but it's patent. Maybe in 1991, I was involved in a trial to resynthesize this without revealing the patency implementation. You know what I mean? patent معناها أنا مش هقول لك على طريقة تصنيعه إلا لما تدفع. الشركات من خلال شركة في أمريكا وشركة هنا في مصر قدرنا إن إحنا نفك الباتنت، نفك السيكريسي بتاعتها، إن إحنا نحضر المركب من غير ما نلجأ للمالك الرئيسي وده allowed المالك الرئيسي للباتنت. And this has been done in 1991 وبينتج في مصر since then لغاية دلوقتي. المهم كده أنا بخلص الجزء بتاعي.